What's going on, everybody? So, really quick update before I get started. Some of you may remember one of the goals of this channel was to show you all around the lab, all the really cool experiments that I'm doing and the things that I do to a day-to-day and the things that I do to a day-to-day and the things that I do on a day-to-day basis as a scientist. And for the first couple videos, you didn't really see much of the lab. Reason for that being is that I've been spending a lot of time at my computer, reading up on papers to familiarize myself with the field so that I can build my thesis, and learning how to do some data analysis so I can analyze the data once I get it. And the reason I haven't really shown you what it looks like is, well, it would just be me sitting at a computer. Hopefully in the coming months I start doing some bench work and I'll get some pretty neat clips and stuff to show you what it's like. Another thing I want to add to this video real quick is in the next couple days, I don't know why I looked at my wrist, there was no watch there. I'm about to go to Spain for vacation. So really won't have much time to record while I'm there because I'll be there for a wedding. But hopefully for the next video, I'll have some pretty neat clips from Spain and hopefully some stuff you'll enjoy. But without further ado, time to talk stem cells. So on a basic level, what is a cell? Cells are the basic building blocks for all living things. Think of it like the Legos that make up our bodies. Pieces that are various shapes and structures can come together in order to build complex individuals. And according to an article from 2013, it was estimated that the average human has around 37.2 trillion cells in their body. That's trillion with a T. That's over 5,000 times the number of people that are in the world today, and over 90 times the number of stars that are in the Milky Way galaxy. Now, we didn't all start off with trillions of cells, so where did all these different cells come from? And as adults, we're constantly losing cells to various types of damage like sun rays and just scratching our skin. So how do we replace these cells that we lose? The answer to this question has to do with a classification of cells called stem cells. Now, what is a stem cell? It's generally agreed upon that all stem cells meet 3 criteria. The first of these being that all stem cells are what's called undifferentiated. In other words, these cells are not specialized to do a particular job or cellular function. Here's the way I think of it. In high school, you have the potential to be anything, but you might have a favorite subject like science, art, or English. After high school, you have the option to go to college for your undergraduate degree, where you start to narrow down what you want to be by picking your major. For instance, if you found from high school that you really like science, you could go into physics or biology or chemistry. Then, once you get your undergraduate degree and you finish college, you can get a PhD to further specialize by focusing on studying something specific. A type of cancer, the structure of DNA, certain molecules produced by a plant. Finally, after you get your PhD, you move on to do a specialized job or function, whether that's working for a company to design certain tools, doing research in a lab, or teaching at a university. People at the bottom of this tree here are what we'd call differentiated because they have a specialized job. Everyone else before this is what we'd call undifferentiated because they still don't have a specific job to do. In other words, the people in this top portion are more like what we would consider as a stem cell. The next property of stem cells is that stem cells have the potential to become specialized or differentiated. Going back to our tree, the people in this top portion have the potential to go on and get one of these specialized jobs at the end. So they meet the second criteria as well. Lastly, the final property is that stem cells can self-renew even after long periods of time. Stem cells have the ability to divide themselves into 2 cells, where at least one of these cells will be the same as the original cell, meaning that one of the new cells will also be undifferentiated and have the potential to later become specialized. And cells that meet these 3 criteria are what we would call stem cells. However, there are still many different types of stem cells. At a general level, stem cells can be divided into 2 categories: embryonic stem cells and adult stem cells. Embryonic stem cells can become any cell type in the body and are found in early developing embryos. Going back to the career tree analogy, embryonic stem cells are the ones that can become anything. These are the cells that are important for helping develop all the different cell types in the body. Adult stem cells, on the other hand, have limitations to what they can become. Think of them kind of as the senior year undergraduate college student, where they already have a major and they're already along a certain career path. However, unlike embryonic stem cells, these adult stem cells can be found in, well, adults. For instance, our skin has stem cells. So now that we understand how stem cells are defined, why are they important? You can probably already imagine why embryonic stem cells are important, because they're the ones that go on to make all the different cell types in the body and make us. But what about adult stem cells once we're done developing and we're grown-up adults? As adults, we're constantly losing cells due to various types of damage, like UV rays from the sun that cause sunburns, or scratching your skin. Even moving food through your digestive tract will result in cell loss. To compensate for this loss in cells, we need adult stem cells to help resupply the cell population. If we don't replace these cells, we open ourselves up to infection and failure of our organs to function properly. No big deal. Now, every part of our body doesn't have adult stem cells. For example, your eyes don't have stem cells, and this is why people who become blinded don't recover their vision naturally. However, if we have a tool like embryonic stem cells that can become any cell type in the body, then we might be able to repair adult tissues that lack stem cells. And interesting progress has been made in this area. In the last 10 or so years, scientists have found a way to take differentiated cells with specialized jobs and functions and transform them into cells that are more like embryonic stem cells. So you can imagine adult liver cells, muscle cells, even cells from the skin could be used in this process to help make cells that are like embryonic stem cells. These transformed cells could then be utilized to help regenerate and repair certain damaged tissues that lack stem cells. Now, as a disclaimer, a lot of work still needs to be done in order to refine this process. There's still a lot we don't know yet, but you can't help but appreciate how far we've come in this field and where future directions might take us. And with that, we're gonna wrap up this video. Hopefully you all enjoyed this video and got to learn something interesting. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like button down below and subscribe. And with that, I'll see you later.